So welcome to the Daytime Emmy Specials here on JLJ Media. I'm James Lott Jr. And this guy is no stranger to the Emmys. Nominated for an Emmy, actually back when his GH days. Also, he's been nominated in this category with his current thing on Days of Our Lives, but he also is an Emmy winner for his music, outstanding original song back in the day. But he's been awarded another nomination for a daytime drama supporting actor, my friend Wally Kurth.
Thank you for that introduction, James.
You look good. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good too. I'm doing good.
Good to see you.
Same here. It's a beautiful day in LA today. It's beautiful. Look outside. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, I live down here in Manhattan Beach. It's beautiful down here. Sometimes it can get cloudy, but it's clear today.
Well, I'm in Inglewood, so not far. We South Bay. South Bay, folks.
There you go. We're
so,
neighbors.
Yeah, so we're neighbors, definitely. I'm always down there. My favorite Ralph's is in Manhattan Village.
Oh,
in Manhattan
I
Beach.
love that. Oh, maybe I'll see you there.
I see. I go there all the time. It's like, to me, it's a nice big Ralph's. It has a little bit of everything, so I usually go there.
Yep.
That's my favorite. So congratulations. How does it feel?
It feels great. I mean, it's always an honor, and it's and humbling to be nominated by your peers, because I'm a voter. I watch reels. I watch reels that aren't me, but I watch Emmy submissions.
Yes.
And I judge, so I see what comes down, and so I really do appreciate it. I mean, it's lovely. It's lovely to be recognized.
Yeah, you are. I mean, because you are one of the few who's doing two shows. Of course, you're on General Hospital. You're on Days of Our Lives. This is for your work as Justin Kiriakis on Days of Our Lives. So let's say Kiriakis. But for a story, I mean, for this though, it was kind of a sad thing. I mean, so tell folks, what was your reel? Like, what you turn in?
Well, I had two very emotional stories.
Yes, you did.
Those are probably my only main stories of the year. So they were, obviously Victor's death, and for me, Victor was like a father.
Yes.
And so I knew that was going to be emotional stuff, and they had me, breaking down, and I thought they did a good job of. I always like it when the character breaks down by himself in a way. That's how Justin would do it. Yeah. He would be strong with everyone there, and then he would fall apart when he's by himself. And they did that in the Victor's stuff. So I started out. I picked a scene where I actually have to tell Maggie that his plane went down in the Mediterranean.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And then I had the scene where I get off the phone with Sonny, and Bonnie comes in and can see that I'm hurting, and then gives me a hug, and I break down in her arms. And then I did a little scene at the funeral, which was not a big, it was more of me. Again, it was just lovely in a way. I felt like I did a pretty good job with it, and that I was, started off strong and funny, and then he catches himself. Just happened to get, talking about that he'll never, that he misses him and he'll never forgive him. And then we cut to the whole story where I'm looking at the letter, and I realize that Angelica has basically disclosed the truth about Victor being Alexander's father.
Yes.
And then I tell Alex that story, and there was some emotional stuff there where I tell him, I'm not your dad, Victor is. And then again, once again at the end, I'm looking at the letter, and Bonnie comes in, and I break down in her arms again. So there was a lot of crying, James, a lot of crying, and I've never won, but I'm smart enough to know that those kind of emotional stuff, when you're grieving about your father or your son, and which I was kind of doing both.
You were. I was like, they put you through the ringer. I mean, they put you through the ringer. Yeah. And also on the side notes, you really are missing John Aniston. I mean, you're also missing a colleague, And I know you've been through before with John Ingle on General Hospital. Like, it's like you're missing another colleague.
Yeah. And the truth is, yes, John and I, he was like a father figure to me. He was obviously a mentor. When I started on the show, he had, been doing soaps for a while, and I really looked at him as a, as a mentor, and to show me how how I'm supposed to be a professional actor.
Yeah.
And he led by example. He didn't really offer a lot, but you just, just rehearsing with him every day. And when I first got on the show, I worked with him a lot.
Yes.
It was either Judy or John every day. And so we really got to know one another. And I think he respected me. And we were friends. And, when I came back, he was happy to see me, and it was just, John, one of those guys that you just can't help but really feel close to, even though he may not pour his heart out. And we didn't get too deep into anything, but he was always just there, and so I was able to use some of John too in those scenes, just let my feelings for John come through.
Yeah, I couldn't believe when they were trying to do that whole thing saying that Homeboy was not your son. When they started doing that, I was like, where did that come from? Now, you've been in this business a long time, so storylines can change in a second. But I was like, where did that come from?
Well, let me tell you something. I didn't know at first. I thought, oh my God, they're taking my son away. They didn't tell me. I was like, what? That can't be right. I mean, especially Rob. Rob's like, the star of the show practically. Like, he's definitely the main focus of certain stories. I'm like, oh, well, there goes any future story with him, I guess.
That's hilarious.
And then about a couple weeks into it, I think, or maybe a couple weeks after we taped those scenes, it came. I don't know whether Rob told me or someone told me. And I went, oh, okay, I feel better now. Yeah.
Yeah, we felt better. We all felt better too. We're like, oh, okay.
Well, wait a minute. That hasn't aired yet, right? So you got more stuff coming up. So I guess we should talk about that.
Yeah, there's more stuff
but yeah, that's right. You guys don't even know.
Yeah, there's more coming up. You guys taped so far in advance. Yeah, everybody taped so far.
Yeah.
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 But it's good that you're recognized for your work this year, because I mean, it was good. It was really good work, Wally. You've been in this business for a while, and yes, you know how it goes. It ebbs and flows and whatever. But you had some really good stuff. You had good stuff to choose from.
Thank you. I've been doing this such a long time, like you said, and I have a way. I know that we only get one take, and everyone has to deal with that same thing. Sure. But I tell you, knowing that, you prepare for it. And so you really know, I know my dialogue backwards and forwards. Literally, I sometimes go, let's go backwards. You know what I mean? So I have it in my head, so then I can forget it.
Yeah.
Just, it's there. Yeah. You've uploaded it. Now you got it. Now you hit play. Yeah. And you just take it moment to moment and let it unfold. The dialogue will unfold. If you're working with an actor who's, doing what they're supposed to do as well, which I do, Suzanne and Judy and Rob, they're all pros.
Yeah.
So you have to trust yourself, and especially with those emotional scenes, you really have to trust yourself, and to you got to go there and just it's either going to have it or you're not, and don't push it. Definitely don't push it. Don't try.
Yeah.
That never works.
Have you gotten used to the one take thing? Just like this is reality. Some actors, they tell me, I want to go back and you're just like, next, what's the next thing? I mean, they don't care. What's the next thing?
I don't even like doing it a second time. I'm like, really? I don't know if I can do it twice.
That's funny. Oh my God, that is funny. Oh my God. Speaking of funny, General Hospital. Like I said, the scenes where you're Skip to Malewin to tell Nina about all her dirty deeds, and you're skipping your way over there and then trip and fall into the pool. We laughed so hard on that. We said, I think Wally's having too much fun in those scenes on that set. You're like, your life is over, girl, and you were like you were skipping on it. Oh my God, we laughed. I said, tell you that we laughed.
I asked Cynthia after. I said, Cynthia, did that look silly the way I kind of ran off? And she goes, oh no, it was great.
It was.
I go, because I was like, but in the script, it actually says he hurries.
Oh yeah, you ran over there.
And because I also knew that I was going to be hurrying into the pool and tripping, so I had to have that. I thought it cut really well. I actually put that scene, that clip, into my Emmy reel for General Hospital.
Funny. Okay.
I told the whole story.
Okay, good.
But that was one of them.
Well, at the beginning, it was like, because on soaps how it goes. you fight over here, and you threaten for a while, and 3 days later, like it was like you're like your life is over, bitch, and then you just like, oh my god, audience, we couldn't stop. We thought that was one of the best scenes of the week. We're just like, that's one of the best scenes. And then you fell on the floor, like what? What? Like, what? You're gonna tell. You're gonna tell. You're like, I'm not gonna wait for this.
I had fun. There's a guy named Anthony who does. He did the stunt, and he's done stunts for like George Clooney and a lot of people. Oh, wow. And he did a great job. I mean, he boom, once again, one take. He did it once. Boom, hit his head, fell into the water, and then I got in the water. Yeah.
And so then the rest of your storyline, though, most of the year was you with Amnesia playing Eddie Main. Eddie Main. I'm like, that was so fun. I mean, it must have been fun. And then bringing back Rena, and it was like, bringing her back. I was like, this. You must have had a good time. You must have had a good time.
I did. I mean, I know some of the fans thought it was going on too long, and let's face it, it's Amnesia, right? And plus, why would I only remember Eddie Main? It wasn't really amnesia. It was kind of like PTSD.
Yes.
And I kind of I fell into like an alter ego where it was almost like hypnosis. Like I was hypnotized in a way to protect myself from the cruelty, from the torture of being a Quartermaine at that time. The pressure was too intense that I just pushed that part of my personality aside, embraced the musician, the inner musician, rock star, and he just lived in that little world and hoped he could just stay there. I mean, that's why I'm an actor. I can put all my regular day life away. Yes. I get to step in, put on a suit and tie, be Justin Kiriakis or Ned Quartermaine. And so it makes sense to me. I pretend to be somebody all the time. Almost every day I pretend to be somebody. So I understood why Ned just said, you know what?
I'm out.
I'm Eddie.
Yeah, I'm Eddie. I'm out. And there was one scene you had with Laura Wright. We're like, there's a little chemistry there, like, because you guys have never really talked to each other. It's like, I like that. Eddie was flirting with her a little bit or whatever. I'm like, that was kind of fun. That was okay. Eddie got to go around a little bit, and
I know. I thought I was going to be a regular at that bar. I was hoping for like at least another month of story, just me just hanging at that bar, talking to people, forcing them to listen to my terrible songs. I don't know, just like singing out there. I didn't spend nearly enough time at that bar, that's for sure.
But just when they told you they were bringing back Eddie Main on some form, what was your first reaction? I mean, again, that was a long time ago, kids. But now, what was that? What was your thought about that?
James, I don't say much over there. They just tell me what to do, and I smile and say, "Sounds great. Let's do it." I did. I thought it sounded great. I go, "Well, good luck," because all I know is that as a writer, they have an impossible task. Oh, and by the way, the writers that thought of it went on strike like a week after that storyline started. Okay, I mean, so much of the material was written by producers and directors. I know. I know they were the ones who were writing. So thank God they followed through, and they said, you know what, let's make the most of it. And so I have to give kudos to those guys that pulled that off, because they really did a really pretty good job of the whole Eddie history. And I changed very little, and I loved working with Robert. That was awesome.
That was funny. Yes, that was very funny.
Got me into that club. I mean, I only really sang one song the entire.
That's it. That was it. I'm like, wait a minute. What happened? That was it.
I did that All the Man, which is what Eddie did years ago. That was great. I loved how that came off. Yes. We did that in one take, and then I sang the Siren song a lot. But other than that, there wasn't a lot of on stage performing. So it was mostly just story, and I don't know. It was.
I know.
I love story. I love acting. I don't care what I find it more challenging if I'm like, how am I going to solve this? And in fact, when we got out of the water and I was on the beach and I was resuscitated, I remember going, I got to land this thing. I got to land this story. And that was the one time where I wanted multiple takes on the beach when I was trying to remember who I was. Yeah. Because I had to talk about the song and how it all made sense, and it didn't really make sense when I was saying. I'm like, we're going to keep taping this thing until it makes sense to me. Because if it doesn't make sense to me, it's not going to make sense to the audience. So when I finally did do it, I thought, and I watched it, I went, okay, it makes sense to him, so I believe it.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going for. Even if it didn't make sense to the person who's watching it, it looked like it made sense to Ned, and that's what I was going for. So I was happy how I sort of landed it.
Yeah. And lastly, Jane Elliott's back and in full force.
Yeah.
We love her. We love her. We love her. We're so glad she's back. We love her long braid. We love all of it.
Yeah.
So for you, your buddy's back. How's it feel?
Fantastic. And I'm so happy. And I tell her, like, well, I know you know. I said, look, I know you don't. You know, you're not on social media, Jane. But just so you know, the fans love you.
They do.
They love Tracy Quartermaine. They love having you back. And not only that, Jane, I love you. And I love having you back. Ned is a happier person now that Jane is back. Wally's a happier person. So it's just fantastic. And also having Rita back. It's been great for the show. And it's great for our story and for the Quartermaine house. So I don't know how long she's going to stay. She's going to be kind of like Jane, kind of in and out. But I think Jane will be around for a while. I think Jane's not. She retired,
that, right?
but she's back. I mean,
she's back. She's back.
I mean, she looks like she's having a hell of a time. So
yes, they're giving a good story. They're giving a good story, and Amanda Seton is just a joy to behold. We love her too. Who plays?
Yeah,
we love her. You guys are a unit. You guys are all a unit.
Yeah. And it really is. It's a nice. It's at that's really nice that I have with characters that the audience loves and really is connected to, actors that I enjoy working with. When you have that situation, you know, it'll be fun. It'll be a fun future.
So, folks, he's up for a daytime Emmy. He's up for a daytime Emmy again. So are you coming to the show? Are you coming?
Of course. Well, you know, James, the last 2 times I've been nominated were both those times where there was COVID. It was COVID protocols. Right. So I had to, if you can believe it, and I'm not afraid to say it, I had to make 2 speeches pretending like I won.
That's right.
On tape. First of all, I had to do like a selfie, putting with under 30 seconds. So I was like, blah, 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 speaking really fast, thanking everybody. And then the following year, I was nominated as again, or maybe 2 years later, and they pretended it was at Emmys. So I actually had to walk on stage in a tuxedo, grab an award on stage, look into the camera, and give an acceptance speech when I really didn't win yet. It was just pretending. Like, this is what I would say if I won. And that was the year that I was nominated for lead actor against Maurice. Yeah. So Maurice won. But I'm just happy that I'm actually going to the awards ceremony. Yeah. And I'm not going to have to, like, you know, the speeches are always, I'm going to be nervous. I'm going to be totally nervous. I'll admit it. It's nerve-wracking. The one time that I was there back in 2018 when I lost to Greg on days, I was on GH. He was on days. So Greg won. I was a nervous wreck. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to, I mean, you know, it's nerve-wracking.
It's nerve-wracking. Yeah, we're going to say, right? I want to sound profound. I don't want to forget anybody.
I know. You want, I mean, you definitely have thought about bullet points and what I'm going to say, but anyway, it's nerve-wracking. But it's Friday. Are you going to say the date? Friday, June 7th. Friday, June 7th. And I believe it's going to be, we're going to be taping it at 5 here in Pasadena for 8 p.m. on the East Coast, so it'll be tape delayed. Yeah.
So I'll be there. I'll be there.
All right. I'll see you in the red carpet.
Yeah. So, folks, Wally Kurth, watch Days of Our Lives, watch General Hospital. He shows them on both. So go ahead and watch more there. And thanks for watching our special. See you next time.